Close your eyes for a moment and think about the word commute. What comes to mind? The frustration of brake lights stretching to the horizon, the cramped feeling of a subway car during rush hour, the frantic rush through a crowded airport, the anxiety of a delayed flight. For generations, this was the unavoidable price of progress, the background noise of our civilization. We built sprawling networks of asphalt and steel, but they often ended up trapping us, consuming our time, polluting our air, and defining the limits of our daily lives. Now open your eyes to the year 2100. That world of congestion and delay is gone. It's a relic, a curious chapter in history books that students study with a sense of disbelief. The very fabric of how we move, how we connect, and how we experience our world has been fundamentally rewoven. We didn't just improve transportation, we reimagined it from the ground up, creating a seamless, intelligent, and experiential network that is as much a part of our environment as the parks and the buildings themselves. This isn't just about faster cars or quieter planes. This is about a philosophical shift where movement is no longer a burden but a benefit. A world where a meeting on another continent is as logistically simple as stepping into the next room. Let's take a journey to see what this really means. It's 8 a.m. in London. You have a face-to-face meeting in Tokyo at 11 a.m., followed by a desire to be in New York City for a Broadway show in the evening. A century ago, this schedule would be pure fantasy. Today, it's a Tuesday. You finish your morning coffee and step out of your building. Before you can even form your thought, a sleek, teardrop-shaped pod glides silently to a stop beside you. There is no steering wheel, no dashboard. The entire capsule is transparent, offering a panoramic view. The door dissolves open, not by sliding, but by retracting its molecular structure, and a calm, ambient voice confirms, "Ready for your journey to the Tokyo Metropolitan Hub?" You step inside and the door rematerializes. The interior is a comfortable, personalized space. Your preferred ambient lighting is already on, and your daily news brief is displayed on a holographic interface. The pod doesn't feel like a vehicle, it feels like a moving extension of your living room. This is your introduction to the first layer of 2100's transport ecosystem, the urban fluidic network. The city streets you remember are unrecognizable. The ground level is now almost exclusively for people. Wide pedestrian boulevards, cycling paths, and green spaces have replaced the seas of asphalt. The constant roar of engines has been replaced by the sound of conversation, laughter, and birdsong. The transportation itself happens on dedicated, elevated guideways that curve elegantly between buildings, like ribbons of light. Your personal autonomous pod is not driven by an internal engine, but is propelled by a combination of magnetic levitation and targeted electromagnetic pulses from the guideway itself. This means no friction, no wear and tear, and near silent operation. Most importantly, every single pod is a node in a vast citywide AI. They move not as individual vehicles, but as a synchronized school of fish, flowing in perfect harmony. There are no intersections in the traditional sense, no traffic lights, no four-way stops. The AI performs a constant, intricate dance of coordination, allowing streams of pods to merge and diverge at high speed without ever needing to stop. The commute has been eliminated. Your journey across London takes minutes, not hours. Your pod doesn't head towards an airport. Instead, it descends gently into a vast, sunlit atrium, a transcontinental nexus. These are the grand central stations of the 22nd century. But unlike the dark, crowded terminals of the past, they feel like breathtaking public galleries. Your pod moves from the city guideway onto a larger platform. You feel a subtle click as it magnetically locks into a waiting cradle on a much larger vehicle. A soft chime sounds. Transcontinental Nexus complete, proceeding to Tokyo. You haven't moved from your seat. Your personal pod has now become a private cabin on a high-speed intercity transport. This is the second layer, the Continental Hyperloop Network. These are not trains, they are intelligent transit platforms that carry multiple pods simultaneously through low-pressure vacuum tubes. With almost no air resistance, these platforms can travel at sustained speeds of over 1,200 kilometers per hour. The journey from the London Nexus to the European hub in Prague is a brief 45-minute interlude. You feel no G-forces, no vibration. The ride is so preternaturally smooth that you could balance a coin on its edge. Through your transparent pod walls, you see the world outside as a beautiful, rushing blur. You use this time to finalize your presentation via a holographic interface, the lag non-existent thanks to global quantum entanglement networks. From Prague, your pod is seamlessly transferred to an even larger platform designed for intercontinental travel. This is where the journey becomes truly awe-inspiring. The platform accelerates, and you are now crossing continents at hypersonic speeds. But for the ultimate oceanic crossing, a third layer of technology takes over: the stratospheric gliders. For routes like London to Tokyo, your entire pod cradle assembly is elevated to a dedicated launch port. Here, it is integrated into the fuselage of a hypersonic aircraft. But this is no ordinary plane. These gliders are designed to fly in the upper stratosphere, at the very edge of space. They are powered by a combination of advanced compact fusion reactors and air-breathing engines that scrub carbon from the atmosphere as they fly, making them not just zero emission, but carbon negative. They travel at Mach 10, riding the thin upper air like a sleek bird. The view from your pod's window is no longer of fields and cities, but the deep blue curvature of the Earth against the blackness of space. The trip across the globe feels less like a flight and more like a brief space flight. You touch down at the Tokyo Nexus just over 2 hours after leaving London. But what about life within the city? This is where the fourth layer, urban air mobility, truly shines. The sky is no longer an empty expanse. It's a carefully managed, three-dimensional highway for personal and public transit. Electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, or eVTOLs, are as ubiquitous as taxis once were. Some are small, single-person flyers you summon for a quick trip across town. Others are larger, multi-passenger shuttles that follow fixed routes. They take off and land vertically from rooftop skyports on almost every major building. They navigate using a GPS system so precise it's accurate to the millimeter, all coordinated by the city AI to prevent any possibility of congestion. The sky is filled with these graceful, silent machines, not in a chaotic manner, but in elegant, flowing streams. The freedom this provides is unimaginable to the 21st century mind. Want to visit a friend on the other side of the city? A 5-minute scenic flight through the urban canyon, offering stunning views of the city's vertical gardens and architectural marvels, is all it takes. And for those who seek a more serene connection with nature, there is a fifth, more organic layer: bio-integrated transport. In places like the Amazon floating cities or the restored Venetian lagoons, transportation harmonizes with the ecosystem. Small personal craft are grown from a durable, bioluminescent fungal mycelium and engineered algae. These living vessels are programmed to follow specific sonic or magnetic guides. As they glide through water, their hulls filter pollutants and support microecosystems. They are self-repairing, and at the end of their long life cycles are simply composted back into the environment. Traveling in them is a silent, magical experience, a reminder that technology and nature can not only coexist, but can enhance one another. The invisible force that orchestrates this entire symphony, from your personal pod to the global fleet of stratospheric gliders, is the Global Mobility Consciousness, or GMC. It's a planetary-scale AI that functions as the central nervous system for all transport. It processes exabytes of data in real time: weather patterns, energy grid load, passenger demand, and even individual biometrics to ensure comfort. It is this system that ensured your pod was waiting for you before you even knew you needed it, that routed you on the most energy-efficient path across the globe, and that managed the traffic in the air around you. It has rendered the concepts of accidents, delays, and traffic jams obsolete. So what has this revolution truly given us? It has given us back our time, turning lost hours into productive or leisurely moments. It has given us back our cities, transforming them from noisy, polluted machine hubs into quiet, human-centric habitats. It has given us back our planet, making its most remote corners accessible without costing the Earth. But most importantly, it has reshaped our perception of distance and connection. The world no longer feels large and fragmented, but intimate and deeply interconnected. We are no longer defined by where we are, but by the experiences we can seamlessly choose. This is 2100. The journey is no longer the obstacle, it is the opportunity.
So subscribe our channel for more videos.